Welcome to Tig's Bits. We are pumped about this one, and if your mouth isn't watering by the end of this conversation, now we ain't got nothing for you. We're visiting with Miss Hal The Cajun, also known as Hal The Cajun Lady Accent on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. She has some amazing seasonings, and her passion for cooking and vibrant personality makes her a must follow on social media. She's hilarious. She is fun. If you like to cook, she can walk you through that. She's taught me more than a thing or two just from watching her videos. And we seriously could not be more excited to have her on with us tonight. Let me bring in my buddy, my esteemed co-host, Mr. Blossy, the one-man posse. Where are you coming to us from tonight?
Man, I'm back here in Props Studios here,
Damn
which
right
is
you
located inside of Props Brewery. Yeah, we have now created, this is now that, I told them they've got to stop brewing beer on the days that we record, or if they do, make sure they kind of get things out of the way, because we have a show to do, you know? Like
That's right. Yeah, it could get in the way. But
no, it's awesome. They actually were in here brewing today. Earlier, and and this is where they do the brewing, is the room that I'm in. They brew and then they transfer it over to these big vats that they have over here off to the side. So
Very
so
nice.
Cool, man. Just glad to be back here. Thankful for the folks at Props for allowing us to come in here and hang out and have fun.
they always love props, appreciate them. But man, how pumped are
Dude,
you
this
for
one?
this
This is so cool,
Lacey,
man. This is so
We've
cool.
been talking about this for a little bit of time. Whenever I took a little gamble, I said, I'm going to send Hal an email. I haven't, we want to talk to the people that we want to talk to, that we find interesting. Those are the content creators that we are trying to go after and all that. And no one, to me, like I said, I've learned so much from her videos and some of the things, and we're going to learn a lot tonight. I know that. So super, super jacked. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Hal, the Cajun Lady Accent.
Now, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm so happy I'm here too.
We're going to pass a good time. We're going to pass a good time tonight, Hal.
We're going to pass a good time.
Even my North Louisiana accent can come through, and it will tonight. If there's ever been a contrast of the accents in Louisiana, this will be the show that you can watch. North Louisiana boy, South Louisiana girl. Ain't no doubt about it.
I can't hide it.
I can't either.
Just an Alabama boy just slide in on the side over
That's
here.
right.
That's right.
Alabama boy, go Tigers.
That's it.
That's right.
Go
Get them,
Tigers.
Hal. Go Tigers.
Go Trojans. Go Trojans.
Fortunately, he's a Troy Trojans guy, so we're good over here with that. However, JR the handler, who could be joining us, who knows? He may not. We'll see. He's busy. He's on the road with Justin Moore right now, and then he's wide open. So, but you never know with him. He may slide in.
Never know.
He's the Alabama fan, though. But with that said, he's a good Alabama fan, and he hasn't been, he hasn't thrown it into my LSU face too much, Hal. So that's good.
Even though still a Go Tiger fan.
Always go. I'm Go Tigers all the way. Hence the name Tiggs. LSU Tigers. It's where it all kind of, my nickname came from that and all that. So, yeah, definitely pro LSU, but they don't hate LSU. Well, I can't speak for JR. I know Blasey doesn't hate LSU. We've had a lot of good fun
great times down there in Baton Rouge. I think the last time I went there was 2017. That was a great trip. It was so fun. Yeah.
He loves to bring that one up. Anyhow, so yeah, Hal, we'll move on. I went through a process of this. I wanted to kind of go in order because I have so many thoughts, so many questions in my head. I had to make an outline so that it'll keep me in line and we can keep this moving and not just let my ADD squirrel self go. So I kind of I wanted to start from the beginning. How you're from Church Point, right? You're from,
yep,
aren't you?
I'm from Church Point,
born and raised in Church Point?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. So, how did that? Obviously, we know now, we know you from TikTok and all of that and the social media person that you become, but how did that passion get started? I hear you talk about your mama a lot and all of that. So, was it your home life growing up there? How did it begin?
Well, the passion for cooking, my grandma and my great grandparents, both of my grandmas and my great grandparents always cooked. My great grandparents actually had a cafe. They were old school. They grew all their food in the garden and brought it to the kitchen. And as a grandkid, a great grandkid, I was sitting on the side of the stove on the counter watching and helping. And so the love for cooking, I would imagine started since I've been a kid.
Yeah, you
And I'm
just
from
always.
Louisiana. We
It's
got
what
to
we
eat
do.
good food, and we're gonna cook it to eat good food.
That's a fact. That is an absolute fact.
Oh,
Well, that's something that you definitely in everything that you do, you bring that passion, you bring that energy, and you just bring the know it. I'm just making that word up, but it is the know it that people have down here. You just know what to do with it. You know how to cook it.
I don't
My
know if I know
neighbor,
what to do with it, but I just do what I do.
that's right. My neighbor is from Crowley, and she just whips stuff up, and good Lord, it's just the most amazing things. And she's just, it's the same thing that you do when you whip it up for people.
Well, and I'll say this though, Hal, I've watched a lot of your videos and stuff, and I don't know you personally, but what I can tell is the amount of, to me, growing up, like I said, I grew up in Alabama, and I grew up with my grandmother and my mother in the household and cooking, and the love that goes into that food when they cook, you know what I mean? Like that's something that can't be, like, you can't just create that, and you got that special knack. I remember being a kid one time laying on my couch. My grandmother's in there cooking some fried chicken, like all kind of other sides. And I sat there smelling that chicken cooking and everything. And I remember thinking, I absolutely had this thought at like 6, 7 years old. I was like, man, life can't get any better than this. And ever since then, it's just like my passion for food and my love for food and what comes with it and the unity and bringing people together. And I can tell that that's what you put across when when you do what you do. So anyway, I'm enjoying it. Can't wait to hear more about it here. But
Well, now
just
that
thought
you
I'd kind
say
of throw
that,
that in.
I'm going to tell you that, even as a grown adult right now, I can
Yeah.
reminisce and think about to where I could even smell the foods that my grandparents would cook. And that's crazy. I can
That
be
is
sitting
crazy.
down in my living room and just thinking about what I'm going to cook next and just think, man, I wish I could cook like this. And I can just smell what my grandparents cooked. And that's just crazy. That's good
It is
memories.
crazy.
That,
That's
that
great
those are
memories.
that's the best memories. I've got
Yep.
those too.
When you can
Man,
smell it, it's great.
that's exactly right. Now, you just wish you could go back there, and maybe that's what we do as we get older. We're trying to maybe recapture some of those core memories that we had when we were young, just to kind of make you feel
Yeah,
good
just bring it
inside.
up.
Maybe that's a little bit of something that we all do, because I love to. Obviously, we wouldn't be talking about it. All three of us love to cook. I love to cook too. Cook a lot, and
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even how you did that fried bologna video. You know what I mean? Simple as that is, but you know how heartwarming that is.
Yeah.
Like it's like, gosh. I mean, it takes me back to the ketchup sandwich days when I'd get a piece of light bread. That was a snack. It came in. I'm starving. Just put some ketchup and a piece of light bread. Here you go. Not only it was great food, but the memories around that were just phenomenal. So that's awesome. That's
I
good
love
stuff.
it.
Yeah, I do too.
I love that. What would you
We're all on
say?
the same page here.
For sure. What would you say? And we'll dive into your spices and rubs and all of that mixes and all that stuff here in a little bit. But what would you say right off the bat is your favorite Cajun dish, for lack of a better term? I guess you could say Cajun dish. What was the favorite dish that you had growing up? What is something that brings that core memory back when you're sitting there? What dish is that you just, oh, that takes
Rice
me
and
right
gravy.
back? Rice and
Rice
gravy.
and
I'm see you do. I have seen that passion on your videos with rice and gravy, so that totally makes sense. I believe that
Rice
you
and
do.
gravy is the absolute. That's my death row meal.
Death row meal. That's perfect. I love that. I love that. It's tough. It's tough to beat a rice and gravy, a good rice and gravy, and watching you cook those. They look so good. It's just, I I watched a lot of your stuff this afternoon, and it was terrible because I didn't have anything really good to eat without just making something. So I snacked on terrible stuff this afternoon. I just was watching, so I was just getting so hungry. I've already pretty much seen all of your videos, but I was like, I need to go back and run back through it. I don't want to look stupid when I'm talking to Hal. And call. I did catch that definitely with the rice and gravy. I went, okay, I think that may be her favorite. So
I think so. I mean, that's what she entered the World Food
That's exactly
Championships
right.
with. I tried to, and then
right.
it got flipped upside down on you a little bit. But
I was about to
That's
say,
right.
yeah,
I could tell that's your go-to.
I didn't follow the directions. Typical Cajun. We don't follow directions.
I guarantee you it was
Sound like
freaking
me.
unbelievable though. So
I'll tell
walk
you
us.
about that one though. In a
Yes,
bit.
yeah, no. Let's talk about that. So I know that just kind of the beginning. I know you won a golden ticket or something like that, like you're in Willy Wonka. And then, how do you win the golden ticket first of all? And then,
First of all,
how does that
if
happen?
I really want to know, I had no idea about the World Food Championship. I actually received a phone call from the owners of that sauce out of Louisiana.
Okay,
Great
yeah.
people. I had never met them before. They had been following me, loved what I do on social medias, and loves my personality. And said, "I'm giving you a golden ticket to go and compete over there." And I literally said, "Excuse me," and I didn't say
Yeah.
nothing. And they were like, "Are you there?" And I'm like, "No, y'all lying. I gotta go. I gotta go back to work." I almost hung up on them. Matter of fact, we talked a little while, and I did hang up on them. Straight up.
No, that's
Then they call
great.
me back and they're like, "How?" And I'm crying at this point. I'm like, "I don't understand what's going on. Like, I am so totally confused." They're like,
Yeah.
"No, be serious. We want you to compete over there." And I'm freaking out. Like this, how does this happen to me? 1 week before that, I said, "Man, what I would give to be on the cooking channel." Okay, I love the cooking channel. What I would
Right.
give to be on the cooking channel, and I tell them this, and they like, "This is better than the cooking channel. It's the World Food Championship, biggest food competition in the world." And yeah, I
Wow.
went. So
Wow.
It was in Dallas, right, or Fort Worth.
Dallas,
Um,
yeah, and I entered as a in the rice and noodle category because I was gonna cook a rice and gravy, and I entered my recipe as a rice and gravy. And probably 1 week before, 5 days before, we realized Chef Johnny G calls me up and is like, "How I think we got this wrong." She was also in it as well, another inspiration to me. She's like, "I think we got this wrong. We need to redo your recipe. Something's it's not gonna work. It's a rice and noodle category. You got to do a stir fry." And I said, "A stir fry?
Oh.
Like, I don't want to do a stir fry. I want to do a rice and gravy." And I said, "Well, fine. I'm gonna take my rice and gravy and make it a stir fry." And that's what I did.
yeah.
Had I known that, I'd have entered and made a crawfish etouffee. If I'd have known, I'd have entered another category, the seafood category.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
all happened for a reason, and it was a learning process.
Hey,
And
you live and you learn.
I
You live
live
and
and
you
I
learn.
learned. But
That's
let me
it.
tell y'all, I had the best experience, and I am so thankful that I went. And I know now what to do for next time. I did not come
Yeah.
out, but I had better than coming out. The best experience that I could have ever gotten
Yeah.
at no
I
cost
mean,
to me.
That's awesome.
you got to, hopefully you think you'll get another shot. You think you'll get to go back,
Oh,
hopefully.
I'm sure I could.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year, but maybe I'll wait a couple of years because I got so much going on. But I would definitely give it another shot. Just probably not this year. I'd probably wait a year or
Right.
so.
Well, anybody listening to this, if you got a golden ticket, I highly suggest you give this to Hal. I want to see what she does, especially when she knows what the
Well,
game
now
is.
she knows the rules.
She knows
Yeah.
now. So
It's nice to know the rules of the game
Yeah,
that you
and
get
the
involved
That's
in.
right.
adrenaline
You
rush
know,
was
like
just so insane. It was absolutely wonderful. I could almost cry thinking about it again. Just
Yeah.
tears of happiness, though.
Yeah, for sure. It looked fun. I saw some of those videos of you recapping it. It looked stressful, very stressful, and just riding a wave of stress to get it out. But I would imagine walking up with the plate that you had, people are cheering in that line, and that you had. That had to be kind of like a surreal feeling of like, what in the hell am I? What is happening right now?
That's exactly what was going on. It was so surreal that already I'm a nervous person. When I get excited, I'm in fast speed, like 90 to nothing. And I took off with my plate, and I mean, I literally take off after they all told me you have to go slow, and I was going fast, and I had my sous chef on the side of me, and she kept pulling me back, pulling me back. She said, "You have to
I
go
saw
slow."
her hand on your
Yeah.
back, like
Then some
she
of
was
the
kind of
judges,
holding you back, like a caged animal. Hal was
some of
ready
the
to go.
photographers along the way was stopping me too, and I'm like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? I'm trying to get there before my time runs out." And they're like, "You are okay. Slow down." I just couldn't control myself.
He said, "It's okay.
Oh,
You were
that's awesome.
excited. Hell, I would have been
Yeah.
too. I would have
That's
been too.
cool.
So that's so fun. I loved it. I love that. I love that you got to go do that. It's cool. You had your chef jacket on and everything too. Like just, I mean, it was. I'm one of those. I would love to go, and I don't know if it. I don't know if I would last for longer than a day, but I would like to go to like a Hell's Kitchen deal or like a Master Chef kind of event and see what the hell I could do. Now it would depend on what categories we had as to how screwed I would or would not be, But it would be fun to go just compete in something like that.
I don't know
I've never
Hey,
done
it
any cooking competitions.
I'm sure it's not as big as the Props Brewery chili cook-off that we had back on the Super Bowl Sunday.
Trophy
but
winning.
I bet it's a really nice event. Yeah, which I finished second place.
Next year you'll,
15
and we're
teams.
going to get to this, but next year you will be using Hal's chili seasonings, and that will take us to first place. So
yeah, that'll push us over the top.
Yep,
Let me
that'll
know.
be it.
I'll get y'all some.
boom,
it,
there it
that's
is.
it.
There it is.
So,
Well,
so speaking of these
that's
food
awesome.
shows, I don't know if y'all are aware, but at the end of last year, I actually got asked to compete on next level, the next level, Fox's next
I
level.
did. Yes, I heard you mention that, and
Yeah.
and I know I'm.
Sounds like a major
it-
commitment, huh?
Yeah, I
you had to
turned
go
it
away
down.
for like a month, didn't you? Have to fly overseas or something?
I would have to fly overseas and I could have been away up to a month. And at the same time, they would have wanted me to go, which would have been the beginning of this year. I had a trip planned. So I could not cancel this big Disney trip that was prepaid for
Yeah.
months, and
Oh yeah,
um, so
yeah. Well, you
I
know you're
lost
big
the
time when
opportunity,
you're
but
turning down stuff.
they did tell me that they would probably be reaching back out to me over the years. So
Well, that's good. Yeah, I bet
That's
they
great.
will. They will, and I mean, so the answer is definitely not a no. You will do it if you've got some time and
oh
you're
yeah,
available. I you can't turn down a Disney trip, especially all the planning that goes into that. And then like once you've made that commitment, because I've been to Disney more than once, there really is no backing out unless you just eat it. You're gonna like I can back out, but I'm gonna eat everything that I've spent for this and all of that. There are no refunds with
yeah.
Disney, so no, totally makes sense. Well, hopefully you'll get back on there and do that. And
When the time's right, I'll go to something.
yeah,
I have faith and I have patience on waiting. It's nothing. I don't need to rush anything. So
no, I love that. That's kind of an approach that we've taken with our show too. Is we're just going to get together. We're going to press record. And we're going to hang out and talk about the stuff that we like or that we're interested
That's
in,
it.
and things like that. And I mean, if we want it to grow, we want it to do well, but we're not going to start doing crazy stuff just to get clicks, likes, and views. We're just going to be ourselves. And I think that's the main thing that you can do in any of this stuff. If you're presenting things over social media, you're having a show, you do whatever. If you're not authentic and you're not yourself, then people know that.
That's it.
People
That's
know
it.
it quick.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I can
yeah.
read right
They
through
pick
it.
up on it.
But
They do.
I wanted
Hey
to,
Hal, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead,
No.
man. I'm
You go ahead.
I'm curious as we're sitting here and I'm looking at the name. How did you get that name?
Yes.
Like that's such an interesting name.
okay. So my nickname is Hal. My brother could not say my real name since he's been a kid. Mind you, I'm 42 years old right now, and I have been called Hal since I've been a freshman in high school. From my teachers, principal, absolutely everyone. That's what I'm known as. So last year, I think, yeah, last year, 2022, the beginning of 2022, I decided to make TikTok. But by the way, I hated TikTok. I never watched it before. I could not stand listening and seeing all these kids doing all these dances. They would never talk. It was just all this
Right.
commotion,
Yeah.
and everywhere we went, that's all I seen. I'm like, what is this? Like, this is
Yeah.
not for me. So I never downloaded the app. I never did anything. And my friend was like, just watch some of it. I'm like, no, I don't want to. Then I ended up downloading the app and I started watching. She's like, they have cooking on there. You'd be interested in it. It's not that I don't like music because I absolutely love music. I'm a retired DJ. I absolutely love music, but I just didn't.
Oh,
I wasn't interested in seeing all this stuff. They have cooking on there. I was like, well, let me download it and try to watch a little bit. Well, I said whenever I was making the TikTok, it said that make your name. You can't change it right away. It lasted like 60 days or something before you could change your name. So I was like, I gotta make a name that I'm gonna be okay with. Everybody's gonna see me. So I just said, well, since I'm a Cajun and everybody always says you got a bad accent, you got a flat accent, man, your accent is thick, man, you Cajun. That's all I ever heard my whole entire life. I'm like, well, let me just name myself Hal the Cajun Lady Accent. Okay,
yeah.
not even thinking nothing. Okay, never even download this app to do the cooking videos. Just by the way, it was just to watch
Yeah.
because before I would download my cooking videos on, I wouldn't even download them. When I would cook, I would get my Snapchat and just go over my pot and say a few words, and I put it on my Snapchat. So only a
Okay.
few select people would see. 100 of my friends would see it. So there we go. I made How the Cajun Lady Accent on TikTok and on Facebook and on Instagram to follow afterwards. And put one video, it kind of went crazy. I'm like, whoa, put another one, it starts going crazy again. I'm like, wait, now I'm freaking out. So I'm like, let me continue the videos. And I stopped for a little while. I said, I can't do this. And then everybody would reach out to me, where are you? We want to see more videos. I'm like, this can't be true. This got to be a
Yeah.
joke.
I
And they
know.
kept on hounding me and messaging me, we like you, where are your videos at, whatever. So I started putting more videos and never once intended for any of this to happen where I'm at today, a year and a half, almost 2 years later. Never intended this, never expected it.
Man,
And
that's
this is where we
quick.
stand.
That's
So
fast.
thankfully, I gave myself a name that I was okay with.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was smart. I mean, it was
That's
smart
it.
to be like,
You're kind of stuck.
let
You're kinda
me
stuck with
make
it
a
now,
good
right?
decision here because you could have just gone with anything, or let it pick for you or whatever.
Yeah, I could have put
And you
out a crazy lady or something,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So no, that was smart. And then it's easy to say and to remember too. And then it goes right along with like it all just connects. It's perfect. I think you nailed it.
No, it worked out good. Hey, and Hal, for our show, like he said, it's Tig's bit. So he started this by himself. Got me to come on here once just as a guest, and then myself came on, and then our buddy Jr., who's usually here. We started doing it, and we were thinking about changing the name because it's not just Tiggs, because he's Tiggs. And then we kind of blew up with this DJ in Tampa. We'll talk about him later on. But what's funny today, fast forward, it's such a funny name because it's Tiggs, his nickname Tiggs, and it's Bits because he wanted to do small little segments, and that was it. It was that simple. That's it, but I got a Tiggs Bits shirt on, and this guy comes up to me. I've never seen him and his wife, and they just start dying laughing. And they're like, I love that shirt. That's so good. And I was like, and I just laughed with them, because that's what happens every time. And I was like, no. And finally I walked over there and I was like, no, it's funny. I was like, this was actually incidental. I was like,
really
this is an accident completely. I was like, it's that. And I explained it. And he was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, but it kind of as soon as you put a shirt on, you walk around, everybody giggles and laughs. So we're like, I guess we're stuck with a name now. It's like, we got to keep rolling.
Yeah, we can't change it. It's So people will misread the shirt. Obviously, they get the T and the B's reversed, and it could create issues. So
I understand.
yeah. So we're gonna roll with that. We have some ideas on some
good.
things.
We're good.
We'll get there
We're
later.
good.
But my daughter goes to LSU. She's a junior at LSU, and she was wearing her Tiggs Bit shirt to class the other day, and I didn't ask. She just volunteered. She was like, I didn't get too many odd comments, Dad. Just I was like, okay, well, thanks for wearing it. I don't know if our demographic is necessarily the college kids, but hey, they're smart. If so, they could learn something from us. What? I don't know, but they could learn something. And learn how to be full of
Something in
shit,
there.
pretty much is what I think what it is. Oh, man. Well, look, let's kind of move on. Let's talk about let's talk about the main course here. Let's dive into it. Hal, let's talk about your spices. I see
Okay.
you have all of them sitting
Yeah.
right there with you,
That's not all of them.
no, it isn't. No,
Some of them, she
it
says.
is
Some
not
of
all
them.
of them. Look, before we jump into that, there's one thing that I definitely wanted to say. One of the things that I admire the most about you is your work ethic. I mean, there's no doubt you're pumping out videos pretty much on the daily, and they're not like videos that you took 3 weeks ago. They're like something you did yesterday, and then you post it like you live poster. It seems
That's
that way.
right.
We'll get to that. So, but that's the way that it looks. That's the perception is that how do you have enough time in the day to do what you're doing? You're working at Gary Mott. You're selling pots and pans and hardware. You're selling and slinging seasoning all over the state of Louisiana and everywhere else. You're shipping it everywhere. I mean, you may be in Manny, Louisiana, where I grew up originally from. I'm from Florine. We need to get your stuff in the Florine and P&K. P&K and Florine, if you're listening to this, Belinda's, you're listening to this, we're putting Hal in there. I'm just telling you what we're doing.
And if you're
Anyhow,
listening to this, y'all need to because I travel down to Toledo Bend quite often, so y'all
there
would
you
want
go.
my products there.
There we go.
That's
The
exactly
good
right.
news
That's
is fixing
exactly
to
right.
be at the new best stop that's going to be opening up in Toledo Bend.
I'm pumped about that new best
Oh,
stop
that's
opening
awesome.
up there.
Yeah.
We've needed that up there. We've needed a. You can't get Boudin in Sabine Parish. You know
Wait,
this.
what
You've
you
been up
say?
there. Sabine
Boudin,
Parish, Boudin. You can't
Boudin,
get. How do you say
Boudin,
it?
Boudin.
We can't pronounce
Oh,
it that way.
look at
Drop
Boudin,
this.
that
So good.
extra
Boudin,
in. Boudin. It's Boudin.
Boudin, Boudin.
Yeah, you
How
say
do you say it?
Boudin. It's not Dan at the end. It's Boudin. Boudin.
Boudin.
Boudin.
Well, you can't get it in Sabine Parish, which is why we can't pronounce it. Okay, you couldn't get it.
If you had it there, you might be able to pronounce it
Correct.
correctly.
And now,
right? Yeah.
now, thanks
Man.
to the fine folks at Best
Boudin.
Stop, we will be having that up there. So that's good. I'm happy to see that finally. But you can get some good hot tamales in Zawali, Hal.
Oh
And
yes,
I
and
know
they
you've been.
They good.
Yes, for sure. But anyhow, so let's talk about those seasons first. What inspired them to? Where did you kind of get the idea of? We've moved on. I'm starting to get traction on social media. People are paying attention. I'm
Well,
cooking.
actually, like
What? How did you get to seasonings?
4 years ago, I actually was in the process of making a seasoning for a cafe I was running, and we ran into a few incidents with it of the manufacturer trying to make the seasoning for me, so I gave up on it. And
Okay.
by the way, it wouldn't have been labeled underneath me anyhow. We'd have labeled it underneath the cafe, so I moved on with it. So making a seasoning has been kind of in my mind for quite some time. And I'm gonna tell you why. When I cook, I sit there and I put whatever seasonings I want to put in the pot. I just mix my stuff up rather than using a mixed seasoning. Or if I
Mm-hmm.
did use a mixed seasoning, I used the one that didn't have a lot of salt because I don't like all the salt in there.
Right. Right.
So I started doing these videos. People started reaching out to me to use their stuff, and I'm like, okay. And then I took a few, and I'm like, I can't. I had to stop taking the people's seasonings because I already had in my mind that I'm making my own. So and I didn't want to tell nobody because it was still in the making and I didn't want to release that. And then it got bad. Like people kept coming and bring me more and more. I'm like, look, I really cannot take it. I'm sorry. I had to eventually start telling people. Nobody knows this yet, but I'm making my seasoning and it's going to be released soon. So I'm sorry. Right now, I got to concentrate on what I'm doing. So I made it. I mean, why
Yeah.
not? If I'm gonna do these cooking videos, what the people are asking for, they like them, they want them. I enjoy doing them.
Yeah.
I want my own seasoning to go with it. I'm an
Yeah.
I
entrepreneur,
don't
and I
blame you.
always want to have something business running. I'm a retired DJ of 15 to 20 years. I left that behind.
Oh,
Okay, so I needed something else to fill in the shoes, make me work more, basically. So I started in the kitchen, and these are all my blends, my recipes. Spent lots of money wasting in the kitchen, time, headache, frustration, till I got something that I liked, and hoping that the whole general public would like it as well.
Yeah.
And that's where we went with that. So I called up my local manufacturer, right down the road from me in Rayne, Parish Foods, and I said, "This is what I want, whatever, and make this happen." And We did, and it's gonna be 2 years in October. I released it, so we're a year and a half, almost a year and a half, and I have 17 products right now.
Wow.
And that's not counting the doubles of them, because the one product I have it in three different sizes, so I'm not counting the duplicates of it like that. Basically, well, 16 products, because yes, I have a bag of seafood bowl, then I have it in the shakers.
Right,
But
right,
yes,
right.
so 16 products, and I'm fixing to release three more within the next 2 weeks.
Oh,
Wow.
yes,
I
that's
mean,
what
you're
I'm talking
blowing and
about. We
going,
got a
man. This
Diggs
is
Bits
crazy.
exclusive here, Hal.
Hey,
Is this
if you want it, I'm ready.
Drop it then? What are you? What you?
give it to
Oh,
us?
no,
Give it
no,
to us.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
we want to hear this.
What I'm releasing.
Oh well, I definitely want.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, yes, I definitely want the spices for sure. I want them for myself.
I'm
Yes.
about it. I might have to tell y'all. I'll tell y'all this. We're opening up a ball crawfish joint, so it's gonna go with that. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yes.
like it. I like it.
So,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, I think I know where I'm going to have to come and grab some content and
Yeah.
check some
Oh,
stuff
man.
out.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's awesome.
You know, this interstate out here on I-10 is wide open right now. It lets me go left when I go up.
Brother, you can be in Church Point, Rayne area within 6 hours from
oh
where
yeah,
you're
come to
at.
Church
Man.
Point. We'll
Short
get y'all
6
some good
hours.
food. Yep.
Yeah.
I looked at it on the map. I know exactly where it is
yeah.
there. So yeah, I've been over there and hung out a little bit and part of the state and spent time in Pierre Park and even down in Morgan City and obviously in Baton Rouge. So yeah.
Speaking of
I can't
Pierre
wait to get
Port
over
and
there.
all that area, so down there, that's where everybody thinks I'm from.
That's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
That's
yeah,
where everybody
I could see that.
from there. So I want to clear it up a little bit for everybody. I'm not from down the bayou. That's where my accent's from, though, and I can't control that.
That's right.
That's what I was thinking because I spent like 2 days in Pierre Park and some weird. I was chasing a camper. That's another story on another day. But I spent 2 days down there. When I heard you talking, I was like, man, that reminds me of that trip to Pierre Park when I got down there, and it was so bizarre. It was such a I'd entered into a different country or something. Yeah, it's so
You're gonna
bizarre.
notice things about me whenever I do videos. I don't know why. I'm loud. So I'm excited when I do my videos. So I start hollering in my camera, and the more
I
I'm
do
loud,
the
the
same
louder
thing.
I am, the more my old Cajun accent comes out. It's crazy.
Exactly.
So
I
do
do
y'all
the same
y'all don't
thing.
think that?
So
And I
good.
already talk loud, like in general. If you're gonna stand in front of me and have a conversation, I'm loud. So, and I noticed
makes
that
two of
whenever
us, Hal.
the louder I am, the more that Cajun accent comes out.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't help it. It's like as soon as I do the same thing, and it's like I'll test microphones, setting up and stuff, and then I'll just sit here and I'm talking. I'll read something, and then I go on. And it's like, but anyway, so here I just can't. I can't help but to just
Way hotter than that test. Way hotter than that test.
always way
is.
hotter. So if you got it just right at the test, turn it down more because you're going to come in hot.
Yeah, you're getting way more excited.
For
Yep,
sure.
absolutely.
For sure. That was one of the questions that I had for you was how long was your process of dialing those things in? Because I've had other friends of mine that have made seasonings, more barbecue rubs and stuff like that. Not really exactly everything that you have at the moment. I've got a feeling you may stop me and tell me you have that coming too.
Well, I am working on several other products for about the last 8 months that I'm just not happy enough with yet to release. So stuff like that is in the making, and I have
Awesome.
dips and a spaghetti and a chili. I have more dips in the making and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I can't wait. I was telling my wife, she saw one of your clips that was talking about the spaghetti and the chili, or just where you were restocking somewhere and you were showing it, and in fact tonight she was like, I still haven't made this dip, and I'm like, well, I have it now. It's a prop for it. It's a prop for tonight, huh?
you got that? You got my dip?
Yeah,
I didn't even
did.
know that. So I forgot to grab a pack of spaghetti. I was wanting to show y'all, but it comes in the same bag, my spaghetti, and my chili comes
Okay.
in the same bag too. I can maybe grab some spaghetti and chili in a second to show y'all.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But I wanna try them. I haven't tried the dip and all, so let's dive into that. Let's start there. Let's start with this awesome Cajun mild dry dip. What do you do with this? I mean, follow the instructions and
Yeah, and I'm fixing to change the label to say Cajun spicy because obviously it got some kick to it. This has my seafood
okay.
ball in it, but here's the
Oh
kind of kick
yeah.
it has. It's not gonna make you stop eating it. A lot of the older ladies tell me it makes them keep eating it. They can't get enough. It's one of those things. It's just like it's
Oh.
like it's got some heat.
Okay.
But so it's got my seafood bowl in it, and you're on the directions on the bag. You can put cooked crawfish tails or cooked shrimp or crab meat. It depends on what you want. I've had friends that actually make this dip and take it to the crawfish bowl, and then they dip their crawfish and their potatoes and their corn in
Oh,
it. And I was like, that's
yes.
not what it's made for. But I actually tried it, and it was good. It was different.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't want to add any of that, you don't have to, keep it to a cheaper rate. But it's just better with extra with all that. It has the flavor of the seafood in here, whether you put it or not. And if it's too peppered, this is what I tell everybody: add more sour cream and mayo, make it go
Right.
further.
Dilute it a little bit. That
Yeah,
makes totally
correct.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to try it. Just haven't since I picked it up. We haven't had a chance to try it yet. But I have used the fire out of the Cajun two step and the Zydeco. But the
Oh
two
yeah, my
step,
seasoning.
yes, I love the two step. I've absolutely freaking love
It's
it.
been it's been a good seller. Cajun spicy two step. It's my spicy. So my Cajun waltz is
It
my basic Cajun seasoning. It's all
okay.
purpose. Cajun
Yep.
spicy two step is the same thing. Basic Cajun seasoning, but it has a lot more fire in it. It's gonna make you two step. It's gonna make you get up and dance. And you notice that
Oh, that two step. I
my
love that two
names,
step.
my names of
Yeah.
my seasonings kind of have music related. As I
Yeah.
told you,
Yeah.
I was a retired DJ, but I love music and I love our Cajun heritage and culture. So
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was going to ask later was about music because we talk a lot about music on this show with Jr. and
uh-huh.
his role as being a tour manager. That totally makes sense. I was going to ask how'd you get the names? Duh, I hadn't even put that together. Hal, like I
So
sometimes things can just be right there in front of me and I just look right on past it. Like no, that's too easy. No,
So
no, of course that's
basically,
what it is.
dance. The dance. A Cajun waltz is a slow dance.
Right.
Cajun step is like a
Yeah.
jitterbug. I just didn't
Yeah.
name it that because that
Yep.
name is coming soon for something else.
Oh,
Ah.
Um,
there we go.
Creole
Breaking
Zydeco, we're
right here
gonna
on
do the
Tick Bits.
Zydeco
The
dance.
jitterbug is on the way.
My Creole
well, I,
seasoning
Oh, you got it.
has a
I
lot
have
of
the
different flavors,
yeah,
like oregano and stuff.
I have the Creole Zydeco as well. What is the difference in it and the waltz and the two step? The two step being the hottest, the spiciest.
Cajun
But what's
waltz, Cajun spicy two step, basic Cajun seasoning. Just your red pepper, black pepper, your paprika, your salt, your garlic. Creole Zydeco, this one has a lot of spices in it. And I'm not saying it's spicy, it has a lot of flavor in it. You have
right?
your basil,
Coming from a lot of
a
directions.
basil, oregano, a
Yeah.
thyme, a little
Yeah,
bit of
herbs and
cinnamon,
things.
with everything else included, different ratios on everything. So that's why it's called that. Creole seasoning is known to have a lot of flavor in it.
Yeah,
And some
yeah.
people say, "Well, I don't like oregano." It's not that it's not going to overpower you with oregano. It has so
Mm-mm.
many different flavors in there. You're gonna like it. Honestly, I mixed my Creole with one of my Cajuns together all the time. I don't like
I
a lot of salt, so mine are kind of kept lower to low sodium.
yes,
People like,
that's what I love about them is that
yeah,
they're not over salty at all. They're full of flavor. I've been putting the Creole Zydeco on chicken. I cook chicken thighs probably once a week. I have a pellet grill. I'll just grill them, turn it on and grill them. It's the easiest thing in the world, and they taste so good. Because they're chicken thighs. But I'll marinate them with the Cajun Zydeco, and then I go over and give it a little brush of the two step. I don't go too
yeah,
heavy handed because my son won't eat it. It's too hot. If I do it, I'll marinate it all with the Cajun two step or spicy two step.
yeah.
It's too
The
much
Creole
for
Zydeco.
him. So I kind of balance it out a little bit to get a little bit of that kick, but still have. That's what it is. You just explained it. I was trying to think. It tastes kind of like another chicken rub that I use in a way, but it's because it has a lot more of oregano and different herbs in it.
And
So,
basil and thyme. And keep in
yeah,
mind,
exactly, exactly.
those three are my all-purpose seasonings. You can use it on
Okay, yeah,
absolutely everything. And I'm gonna tell
yeah.
you all a few secrets. The Creole
Okay.
Zydeco is absolutely amazing on watermelon.
On watermelon.
But while we're
I
Wow.
was
speaking about that, did you realize I had a Mexican fiesta seasoning?
I have. I wanted you to tell me a little bit about it because I
Yes,
haven't been able to. I haven't been able to try that yet. So
I
talk to
know
us about
a few
that.
people are probably confused why a Cajun like me came out with all these Mexican products because I do have three: the Mexican Fiesta seasoning, a Mexican Fiesta dip, and a Mexican Fiesta cracker mix. So if you read the back of this, it's in memory of my uncle. My stepmother is Hispanic, and
Okay.
her family taught me how to cook. You know, the Mexican dishes that I do cook. So I asked them, hey, tell me what would be y'all favorite mixtures of a seasoning. What do y'all use mostly when you cook? She told me I made a blend. I actually shipped it off to Texas for her to try because she lives in Texas and
Okay.
make sure it was right. And this one's gonna be the one that has the most salt. I have 170 milligrams salt, where my other ones have 120, 140. But you know, you have to have a lot more salt in a Mexican dish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is why I did this because I like to cook my Mexican dishes as well, and I wanted to change the game up. I want it to be
Yeah.
different. I want it to be me.
Yeah. I
That's
love it.
awesome.
And
Now,
it's in
now I
memory
like
of
it.
my
Can
That's
you?
cool.
uncle that was lost at the Seacor Power incident a couple of years ago. I don't know if y'all was
Oh,
aware
okay.
of that, but
Oh
so
I
man.
remember hearing about that.
yeah.
Oh man. Um, do what dishes do you make with that? What's your favorite things that you would make with the Fiesta seasoning?
So I
What?
like to do like let me see. I just did the other night chicken tacos and Spanish rice. But whenever we do anything fajitas, anything Mexican, you want to just bake a piece of chicken and you want it just to have a different taste because you're tired of the same old taste, just throw my Mexican seasoning on it. It's
Yeah,
different.
that's what I was. That's kind of what I was thinking. It was like,
I'm
well,
gonna
you can
hit you
just
crazy.
put this on anything just to have a little different. See what
So
happens.
Cajuns like gumbo, Mexicans like menudo and caldo. Okay, I'm gonna be doing some recipes with that at some point when I ever can catch up, and that's
Yeah.
where my Mexican season comes in effect. I'll be using a lot of that in a menudo and a caldo, which is like it's like a gumbo, but different, obviously. You know,
Okay.
like a soup, vegetable soup, but a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that'll be cool. That's awesome. Um, One of the questions that I had is how competitive is this spice game right now? Because I saw you did a video with a guy. I can't remember his name. I know he has a lot of followers on TikTok. I started following him today because of your video,
Oh, cooking with Cajun.
Cajun. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
He has lines of spices. Miss Pat, I see that you use a lot of other, for lack of a better term, competitors. I guess
I
they
do,
have,
and I
that's
do. People
cool.
freak out
I
over
love
that.
that. I love that. I mean, I know, we know because we live in Louisiana that that's just kind of like part of the culture of how we are. Like we're not going to badmouth each other. You're not
Well,
the only person on.
you might be wrong. They will be bad.
Okay,
I see
okay.
it. I do see it.
You do see it.
I'm not gonna do it, but I see it. Rather where I'm just gonna support and the seasoning game is very much competition in Louisiana and definitely all of a sudden, like in the last year, just like
Yeah.
I feel like after I released the seasoning, it just got way worse. Probably in the last 6 months, but it's just like everything else that's being released everywhere else. You know, there's competition on everything.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
you're just gonna
There's
have to
competition
swing
on
it and do it.
everything.
You know.
That's
But yes,
right.
I do support most of my other competitors around me. I support them, and people freak out over that. They don't understand it, and maybe it's not for them to understand if they don't understand. I know I'm doing what I feel I need to do,
That's
and
right.
that's it.
Yeah, and that's all that you can do. You got to do what you feel is right. And I mean, I think it shines through. You can still like other people's stuff. The reason I ask a lot of these questions is I've dabbled with the thoughts of having a barbecue sauce because I'm more of a barbecuer. I
Yeah.
like briskets and smoking meats and stuff like that. That's kind of more of where I'm at. Um, but that was really I wanted to kind of just feel out how you get to this point to make these to
It's
start making all this stuff and just get to where you get. I mean, it's awesome.
it's
Oh, man.
addicting. Just to let y'all know, it's addicting. It's
That's
bad.
what I,
My
that
mind,
that
my mind constantly thinks about my next step, what I'm gonna do now. Can I do this? Will I do it? Will it be worth it? I don't know. I don't care. I'm still gonna do it. We're gonna give it a try. If it ain't worth it, we're gonna drop it.
that that kind of leads me into some social media questions for you, Hal. I've kind of along those same lines of you built it. You have so many videos, that we're able to see. They're constantly coming out, at least that are released. What is your social media schedule like? Because I know on our end how just running a show, we do this. We have our long form content, and then we'll chop it up and put it out into little shorts and all that. It's extremely, extremely, as you know, time consuming to do all of that stuff. I'm working a full-time job. I sell insurance. Blakey's working a full-time job. You're working a full-time job as well. How is your schedule for how do you get all of this stuff done on social media and work a full-time job?
What schedule? Y'all have schedule? Okay, so
No.
no, because I don't even know. I'm still trying to figure it out. So you stated earlier that you felt like my videos were done and posted immediately. I wish
Yeah.
it was like that. Almost probably if I post 10 videos, maybe 5 of them are done that week. That's what y'all don't realize. The social media thing, or maybe no, y'all might realize that the social media thing ain't a hobby no more. It ain't a game no more. It's a job.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a fact. It
I
is.
do my videoing. I do all my videoing. Then I turn around when I have time and sit and edit it. I still have videos from 8 months ago in my phone, way at the top of my camera roll that I haven't edited yet. And
That
I'm
makes me
scared
feel
to
so
edit some
good.
more. I'm scared to edit some of them because I'm like, oh my God, now it's so long. Should I redo the whole video? Where do I start? I don't even know what to do. It's a whole job. And if I have to reach out to somebody and hire somebody to do all my editing, I don't think it would work out because I would still be at them with I don't like it. I would still have to tell them what I want.
That's
So
exactly
basically,
right.
I try. I'm behind, but I try, and I try to get one video posted a day. And if I would do more and probably go live more, I probably would have a bigger following. If I would do a cooking video every single day, I would have probably a larger following because that's what they want: my cooking videos and my
Yeah.
food reviews. We've
Yeah.
noticed.
So is that what you've kind of found looking at your demographics? It's those videos that pop, that you're going to
And
get the
whenever
most
I
hits
act
on.
the couillon, when I just do some kind of crazy video, whether it's I did as a joke a few weather videos, like not nothing planned it or intended to. I did some crazy weather videos as the Cajun lady weather couillon, whatever Cajun
I,
lady weather couillon.
I remember seeing
Okay,
that.
so I
I
wasn't even
do.
expecting these things to go. I looked like a hot mess. I ran out in the rain, got soaking wet. My hair was a hot mess. The wind was blowing me everywhere. I posted this video, and the videos went viral. I'm like, what in the shit? Like, how is this
Exactly.
possible over some weather? Like, I notice when I do anything that acts crazy, when I act my crazy self, they like it. When I cook and I do food reviews, and now they're starting to interact whenever I post a video of where my products are, because now they
Yeah.
want to tell me, well, it's not in my town. I want it in my town. So
That's where you want it. That's awesome. That's what you want to see to start to happen.
Oh, heck
That
yeah, dude.
I
demand
want to make
building
a
up.
formal public apology while everybody's watching and listening.
Uh-oh, here we go. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Trust me, I have tried and tried and I keep trying. I will try my best to respond to everybody's comments and messages, but it is hard. It is just me. I do not have anybody hard to do any of this, but I do appreciate everybody's support. Continued love and support makes me keep going.
That's awesome.
That is for sure. I don't
That's
know.
crazy. You're doing all this
Yeah,
yourself.
I don't know
actually
how
thought
you're
you were
doing
going
that.
to tell me that you had like somebody who's a friend of yours that does all the editing, and you're doing this. You're focusing on this. That's crazy. You're doing everything. I mean,
I do have help
kind
sometimes.
of
I need
reminds me of this
somebody
guy
to
on the
do
show.
it.
You know.
Like if I don't have my camera stand and I need somebody to follow me around a video, I do have help. But most of the time, I just prop it on a camera stand or hold it in my hand.
Yeah, you're nailing it though. I love it. I think that's part of why people resonate with you though. It's not overproduced. It's not like here I am trying to get right here and have this
Yeah, some
exact
crazy-
perfect angle and
Yeah.
all this stuff. No, this is just what it is. You're yourself.
And that's
You
how I
could
am with
just-
my meals. My cooking
Yeah.
meals, I don't make sure that I have every single vegetable that's needed because let me tell you, you do not need all these vegetables when you cook. You can get by with just onions in your gravy. You can get by with just onions in a meal. And if you ain't got onions, it's okay too, yeah. You ain't gonna die. You're gonna still enjoy your food.
That's right. People make way too big of a deal out of this stuff, Hal. You know, like they get so precise. That is one thing that I have loved about watching your cooking videos. You're not getting precise. You're like, I don't measure. We don't
Yeah,
measure.
just
You
about
know us
this
Cajuns,
much.
we don't
Yeah.
measure. Like, yeah, well, no, I know
the
that's
same
the way
way.
that
I'm
my
the same way.
Yeah, my grandma
Yeah.
was the same way.
Yes.
Now my mom, no, she's a measurer. But me, I'm not. I don't measure
I ain't
at
measuring
all.
anything.
You know.
I'm measuring it in my brain, like
Yeah.
as I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So,
If you-
so speaking of the measuring, I'll go ahead and let y'all know this can be your exclusive. I am working on a cookbook, but it's hard.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
extremely hard because I don't measure. And
Oh, yeah.
That's,
So,
that's very difficult. That's very difficult.
so how are you breaking that down? Do you have like a scale? Like, do you just put it together? I'm going to put this much flour or whatever, and then you have to take that, put it on a scale so they can measure it,
no,
or you can.
I'm using measuring cups, and when it comes down to the seasoning, that's where my cookbook will be different. You will not open up my cookbook and say it's gonna need a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon, half a spoon of red pepper. You're not gonna see that. My measurements will be different. It's gonna be season to taste, season how you like, because you cannot put
That's
a
the way it
measurement
should
of
be.
seasoning because you may not be able to handle the pepper that the next person on the side of you can handle. So
That's right.
that's extremely hard on anybody reading a cookbook. If I read cookbooks, I'm not gonna go with half the recipes I see when it comes to seasoning because they're too bland for me. I need more seasoning. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's
So-
very true.
It will not
That's
be
very
a
true.
professional cookbook. It will definitely be a Cajun country cookbook.
Oh man, I
I want to
can't
buy
wait
it
for that.
sight unseen. I want it.
I hope it comes out as soon like 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Speaking of non-measuring, right? Let's get that out quick.
I hope I can get it done by the end of the year, but I don't know at the rate I'm going. It's not looking too good. So because I'm
Are you
busy.
work-
I got a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're
no,
doing
I
everything
don't
else.
understand why you can't get it out by then. It's crazy.
Yeah,
You don't have anything else going on. Like,
No,
you're just
I
sitting
know.
around all
This shouldn't
day,
be a
you know?
problem, Hal. Hell, get on this.
I can't believe how much. You know what's funny? You're describing all this, and let's just go back to what you said earlier. This was 2022, when all this kind of just even started. This ain't but 2024. You know what I mean? Like, how did you? I mean, it's mind blowing. You've done this in this short amount of time.
Yeah.
Forget. I mean, 16 seasonings, more to come. Like, that's mind blowing that you're this far like along the way. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy commitment on your part. How much do you sleep? I bet you don't sleep more than 4 or 5 hours a
I don't
night.
know why everybody keeps asking me that. Everybody wants to know when do I sleep. I don't know because when I'm sleeping, that's all I think about. I freaking dream about what I'm gonna make next,
believe
how
it.
I'm gonna do this, what I'm gonna do, and it's terrible. It's terrible, y'all. It's bad. It's an addiction.
No, it's not.
I can
That's
tell.
your
It's-
passion. That's your.
You're highly committed. You're like the Elon Musk of this whole Cajun cooking situation.
You
Yeah.
are taking it over. I love it.
Oh,
But
man.
it's that drive. Where did that work ethic really? Where do you think that started? Did that start back when you were a kid and just kind of?
And it's in the blood because I've been told my whole entire life from my great aunts and my aunt that my great grandparents and my grandparents on my father's side were absolutely workaholics, and that's some of the cooks too. They just never stopped, hard worker, and I've been told that numerous times on that. So it's definitely in the blood. And
Well,
it's from my father's side. I got
it's
I,
good.
I got I gained everything from my father's side. Yeah.
Well, that's a good attribute to have. Hal. I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
bad. It is not a
It's
bad
great.
thing to have
It's
at
it's
all. But
great.
it shows that hard work that you're grinding. I mean, you're getting those cases of stuff in, and then you're delivering them yourself. To a lot of these places, and that takes time.
It'd be in a lot more stores if I gave it to a distributor, but I did turn about five down, and I'm currently working with some to try to see who I'm going to deal with because I will have to get into distributor because these stores are coming at me from everywheres, and
Yeah. I mean,
um,
there's only one of you, and you can
yeah, I
only
Oh, you're
won't.
drive
shipping.
so many
Wait.
miles in a
So time
day.
out. Did I miss that? So you're shipping direct to all the places that are selling it.
Well, my
You don't have a
website.
distributor.
No, I don't have a distributor. I'm doing everything on my own. And if you go on my website, I think I'm in 30 something stores right now. Not to mention, I didn't rush out to these stores. Probably five, six, seven of these stores I got with and seen if they wanted my products over the last year and a half. If y'all only knew and understood, I could be so much further in stores if I would get up and go. But I put my everyday work first. This is just a side thing, a side gig, and so I got to concentrate on work because that's what brings in the bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Let let
if I give to a distributor, I will be for and out. I've spoke with Brookshire's, Rouse's. I'm trying to get into HEB's, and my next step right now, Brookshire's probably wants me. They saying, and so does Rouse's, but I need to be with a distributor. So y'all gonna see me
Yeah.
in the near future in a lot more places. The reason why I'm not now is because I just don't want to let go of my product to anybody at the moment.
I understand. Yeah. Yeah. It's your baby. You brought it up all this time and stuff that you've spent, and it's hard to just here's my baby. Go. It doesn't matter about the money and all of that stuff. It's like, yeah, but you no longer get to control it.
I don't know. I get to
Like you
control it and let y'all know where it's at. That's what freaks me out. I
exactly.
like to let everybody know where my products are, and
Hey, dude, I could
Yeah.
totally. That would be.
That's
I
awesome.
could see. I
and
could
it's
see
my
it.
business that I made.
That's
So
right.
I want to have control over, it. And I know once I jump, I let it loose with a distributor. There's no more control. So
Right. Like even if you were to go with like a distributor, would you then be able to put it on Amazon and or
I can go
Walmart
on
or
Amazon
whatever?
now. I turned two people down. I don't want to go on Amazon at the moment because I have a website. Why would I need to go on Amazon?
Yeah, they
My
drive people to
shipping is
your
extremely
website.
cheap and fast. I ship out within a day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
If I go to Amazon, I got more fees involved. I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it, but I am saying I'm not gonna be in Walmart. So everybody looking for me in Walmart, it's never gonna happen. I'm sticking to the locals, the mom and pops, and not just locals because I am in several other states.
yeah.
I want the small mom and pop box stores. I'm gonna stay away from the big box stores like Walmart is what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Right.
I'll get into your grocery stores and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Perfect. Perfect.
That is awesome.
Um, well, we're getting in nailing in on an hour. This has been an easy, like I told you. I had a feeling that we would get to an hour, and we still got a little bit more to talk about. We'll
Yeah,
start
I
to
can't wait to do more. So
yeah, but we'll begin to wrap it up. Blasey, did you have any?
No, what she said a while ago, like talking about how you're saying like this is what you're doing, this is where your passion, this is what you're growing, but then there's this other job. Can you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about this, like what pays the bills right now? Because I think I've been digging in on that a little bit and getting a little excited about 2 or 3 items on that
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
on that website.
So I work at Gary Mod Horrorware where we specialize in cookware. Because when I say horrorware, nobody's interested. But when I say cookware, and I'm talking about
Oh
specializing in
yeah,
cookware, you like to cook and you want some cookware, then you need to come down and visit us. And if you can't make it to Rayne, we got a website for you too. But I literally have customers that drive. I've seen it all the time. 16 hours away, 6 hours away, 10 hours away, 12 here, 4 here, 3 here. They do it all the time. We have a large selection of cookware, and That's it. So I concentrate on that. I do all the by the way, all the voicing and videos, facing, all that. You're gonna see me as the voice and face of this business. You'll see plenty of videos out of there.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
not only do I run all my social medias, I run all their social medias too. So
good
all
Lord.
that I
You're
told you
all
first
over the
time
place.
soon.
Wow. Holy cow. Well, I do. I follow them too on TikTok and watch those videos. One of the videos that I showed my wife this last night or Saturday was one with when you're showing off all the different sizes of the different pots, the Dutch ovens, all of that, and the what is it, McQueen that
Yeah.
McWare's. McWare's the
Mc,
Magnolite alternative.
McQueen. Yeah. So first of all, what makes that kind of a pot so daggum good? Why are they so good? Because I mean, I've got Magnolites and I cook in them and I love them. But what is it about that? Why do they cook so good?
It's a thick aluminum pot that holds the heat well and spreads the heat evenly throughout the whole pot.
Okay.
And
Okay.
um, mostly the problem with that right now is that Magnolite was the big thing when we all grew up, and our
Right.
parents and our grandparents. So they got discontinued, and right now in everyday life, the big thing is Magnolites, the fight over Magnolites. You'll see people selling and buying Magnolites all over eBay for $600-700 a pot. Well, I'm not paying that much for a pot. I have real Magnolites too, yeah, but this McWare is a Magnolite alternative, and I'm fine with that. If somebody wants to give me $600 for my Magnolites, well then come on over because I'll
you, you
um,
Come on
you'll
in. The water
replace
is
them
fine, she said.
I'll
with
fix them right quick. I mean, I love my
yes.
Magnolite, but for $600, I could buy me 8 more pots, and I'll have a
Wow.
pot
Yes.
addiction too. Is I got a bunch of pots. I don't even use them often, but
I bet you've got a
But you got 'em
stack
there if
of
you need 'em.
pots. I mean,
I
how
have
would you not?
I have shelves outside in my shop with pots. So yes.
How long have you been working there?
I've been behind the scenes there for over 10 years and
Oh wow.
just really started going inside and full time around the time that COVID hit, which is 2021 probably.
Okay. Okay. So you said that you DJ'd. What'd you DJ? What'd you do?
Oh, we DJ'd bars, weddings, parties, everything.
Okay,
That's
you did
just
like
something that
DJing weddings and all that kind like party stuff, party
I
DJing.
started
Are you like
DJing when I was
DJ on demand? Yeah.
yes, I started
Yeah.
DJing when I was in middle school out of on a jam box. You know, I was always the one playing music at the little parties and in the vehicles in high school, and then after high school just decided to start that, bought some equipment. I know it's crazy, it's a woman DJ, but they got a lot of them. And um I mean, we did it for a long time, and it is fun and good, but I'm kind of glad COVID shut us down on the bars because that's when I decided to hang it up and start this new adventure, which is a lot more fun, like a lot more fun.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I get to
and
eat,
not.
so
But now I think you probably have more pressure because you're putting that internal pressure on yourself to just because every day's a new day and you want to just keep that sucker growing. You know,
oh yeah.
I, we understand that. Blasey and I both understand that. Trying to
Oh yeah.
grow
I
this
have
show a little
notebooks
bit.
written down in what I need to cook. I have notes in my phone with what I should cook. I have it's an ongoing thing. I have so much that I want to get out. I just wish that I had more time. That's what's killing me right now. The time. One I keep saying I'll get caught up one day, but in the meantime I'm gonna keep making all this seasoning for y'all, all the cooking videos, and I have merch too, and that's all on my website and stuff. So
That's right. So how can everybody get to your website? What's your website?
my website is howthecajunladyaccent.com. I'm a .com, so it's not hard to find, and it's How the Cajun Lady Accent, which is on all of my social medias as well. But and if y'all confused, my seasoning name is it's Cooking with How the Cajun Lady Accent.
Yep, that's
So
right.
I made it a long name, but it is what it is.
Well, I can tell you it's good. I haven't been able to try everything. I will continue to, as I go by. The Karchners in Krotz Springs is Are there any places in Baton Rouge, number one, that have them for myself? I
Boudin
just want to know
Shack.
that.
Boudin Shack did have them, but I don't know if he hasn't gotten in a while. I don't know what they have left in there, but um, Bush, Louisiana, the Piggly Wiggly Express has it. If that's close to
Okay.
you or not.
Okay.
Good
Yeah,
old
Parchment
and
Piggly
and
I
Cross
Wiggly.
Springs, I got it there.
yeah. I saw that you had just recently got it there, and I picked mine up at Billy's in Lafayette.
So, and it's
Um,
funny that you mentioned that. Both of those places called me today to go restock. And
did they?
Billy's does not have all my line. They just have three of my products. Fortuners, on the other hand, picked up all my line. Their Lafayette store and their Scott store has all my lines. So,
Okay, perfect. That's good to know. That's good to know. I'll be stopping at Karchner's very soon to pick up the rest of the line so I can
oh yeah.
continue to try them and make some little videos with them. Um, Blasey, do you have anything else while we're wrapping up?
Well,
We've
one of the things that Hal that we like to do on this show, we have a little segment on the show we like to call a little bit of controversy. And so I want to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind, just a few questions. And
nothing
give me your
baiting or
honest
bad
opinion.
here, Hal. Just
No, not
fun
at
little
all.
controversy.
We
Not
need
at
to get
all.
a beer for this.
yeah, go get a beer.
I mean, if you want to get
I
a
think
beer,
you should.
absolutely.
Yes,
I'm
get you a
good.
I
beer.
think you should.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with this. So when it comes to a roux, a jar roux, is that a yes or a no for you?
It's
Like something you
it's
buy
a
out of the
damn
store?
yes for me. And I ain't afraid
It
to
is,
say
isn't it?
it. I can make my own roux
That's,
from scratch, and I do make my own roux from scratch. And even if I made my own roux from scratch, sometimes I would jar it. But using jar roux for me is a yes. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
It is
it's
what it is.
flour and it's oil, and somebody sat there and stirred it way longer than I did, and it's already done. Like I agree with you because I
Yes.
used to do it myself,
Yep.
and even though I'm an Alabama boy, I love to cook. I do a lot of Cajun cooking stuff, so I agree with you. I'm glad to hear that
Yeah,
coming
and
from
you
somebody
can
like
see
you.
that
That
on
makes
my
me feel
videos
good.
because I say it on my videos every time. I'm not afraid to say it. And people will dog me, and I don't care. It is what it is.
I don't like getting
Yeah.
over and cooking a gumbo, making the roux, and then smelling like grease, oil, and flour. I don't like that
Oh,
smell. I don't.
you
You
still
know what I
gonna
mean?
smell it whether you made it or not because when I use
That's
jar roux,
true.
I still gotta stir in the pot to let it
That's
dissolve.
true.
And I still smell the
But
roux.
it's not as
But
bad.
it's
It's not
just
as bad as
40.
when you've hovered
But
over it
it's
for an
45.
hour. You know.
It's 45 minutes of oil and flour. Like, I mean, let somebody else do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just such a
I
grunt
agree.
deal.
Well,
It's like,
I
it's
like
nothing
to
special.
do it. It doesn't bother me. But when you get home at 5:30 and you gotta start getting everything ready to cook, by the time you can get everything ready, that's 6 o'clock. You gotta make a roux at 6:45. Then you gotta cook the food. That food ain't cooked till 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like my mama. I want to eat at 6:30.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat at
Exactly.
9:30.
That's right.
Oh, that's so good. All right, so let me ask you this: okra in gumbo, yay or nay?
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah,
I
she
mean,
said.
I don't know why you wouldn't put it. So
Yeah,
okra doesn't belong in my chicken and sausage basic gumbo, but I'll make an
yeah,
actual sausage, tasso, shrimp, and okra gumbo. That's a
Oh
yes for
man.
me.
okay,
That's a definite yes. But
okay,
I won't use cut up okra. I actually cut it up myself from being fresh and smother it down, then freeze it. Then you'll see me taking a Ziploc bag out from the freezer of the okra I smothered down 6, 8 months ago and putting that in my gumbo. And that's a hell yes for me.
All
And
right.
y'all can
to
try to
time
do it.
out. How do you smother down gumbo? Like, I mean, how do you smother down okra? Like, I've grown.
I did a video, but I want y'all to find it. But I'm gonna tell y'all. You just throw
Okay,
your okra in your pot. Put you a little bit of vinegar. It helps knock the slime out. I do put this. I know this is your next question, and nobody told me, but I know your next question is tomatoes in the gumbo. Probably, right?
it's in there. It's
So,
part of that
so
parlay. Yes, it is.
my
Yeah.
smothered okra, I drop a can of Rotel in there. So the only time you're gonna catch me using tomatoes in my gumbo is if I made a okra sausage tasso shrimp gumbo because I will have a little bit of Rotel from the okra. So you just smother it down and you just keep stirring.
Yeah.
It's like roux. Keep stirring and stirring and stirring. And I'm a Cajun. I talk on my hands. Sorry.
No, that's
I
okay.
love it.
I got Italian in the line, and my hands fly all over the place. That's why I actually have to sit here as we're talking, and I have to keep them clasped and
That's
down.
kind of what.
Or
That's,
otherwise I'm
that's
gonna
why.
get back.
That's why I'm like I am. Otherwise, I'm handsy too. I
I
can't
was
help
doing
it.
it earlier, but then you see, I kept seeing my fingers moving because I kept doing like this. So I was like, I'm just gonna let loose.
I'm like Ricky Bobby. Yeah, I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
Oh, that's so good. All right, let's take it off the rails a little bit here. So, all right, Hal. So, do you think that there are aliens among us?
Most definitely, and they're not eating good like us.
Yes, but they are here, aren't they?
They here.
Yes, I
They
believe
here,
that.
and they ain't
Yes.
eating good like us, and they ain't drinking good beer like us, and passing a good time either.
Have you seen them? Have you seen them? Do you think you've seen? Like, do you think you've like? I know that's an alien.
I didn't see them, but I
Or
mean,
just-
I'm sure they're
You just know they're
there
there.
among us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
Actually,
good
that's-
God. We have a good God, so our God is
That's
amazing, and
amen.
I'm pretty sure that He's got them to keep us in line.
I like it.
Nobody's
I like
ever
it.
asked
I
me
like
that
it.
question before, neither. But I mean, that's just the truth.
That's it. Part
No,
of we.
I agree with you. I
Yeah,
agree
we
with you. It's
both
kinda-
agree. We do dabble a little in talking occasionally about UFOs, aliens, and then maybe a conspiracy here or there. So,
y'all
One or
think there are aliens
two.
among
One or
us
two.
too?
yes,
Absolutely.
no,
Okay.
there's no question
Yes.
in my mind, none.
Yes. Yes. All right. Actually, I thought I was going to have one more, but I got two more. I got to squeeze this one in. So, if you could travel, like time travel, it was available to you. You could go either. You can't do both. To the past, or you could go to the future. Which one are you going to go to?
Oh, you might make me cry on this
Man.
one. I want to go back to the past because I miss a lot of family members that I just recently lost.
Yeah,
So I definitely want to go to the past.
that's a good question.
I agree
That's
with
a
you.
good question, Blasey. Really good question.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree
would
with
love
you on
for them
that
to
one
see-
too.
I would love for my family members that I recently lost. I lost a lot of family members, my dad and stuff, my stepdad. I love for them to see what I've got going on.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
I bet you would.
I'm with you. I would
You know,
want to go back
and that's
too.
the selfless. That's the selfless answer
Yeah.
too, because that takes back to what you know would make them smile and make
Yeah,
them
that's
happy. It's not
that's what
about
I
you.
want to go back there for to visit
Yeah.
with them and show them that I've never stopped working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be proud of you. There's no doubt about that. You know that for sure.
Yes, absolutely, they would. All right, last one. This is one we always close out on. So there is this shock jock DJ, nationally known, like the biggest in history. How do you feel about Bubba the Love Sponge?
Never heard of Bubba the Love Sponge in my life. You know, I'm a retired DJ and I love music, and I've never heard of that before. But it
That's
sounds.
What?
I was
don't know.
thinking that
He's
she
the-
was going to actually know because of the DJing background.
I thought that was a good flip of the coin when I heard the DJ
Yeah.
thing. She might know who Bubba the Love Sponge
No,
is, or she might not.
So being a DJ, I listen mostly to my Spotify playlist at work all day, and these people come in the store and say, "Man, what radio station that is? I want to put it on there." It's my own radio station. I make my own Spotify playlist and play it. And that's probably why I never heard of Bubba the Love Sponge. But give me that, just I like to send my.
What you know what? That in itself is great. The way she says it, I've never heard it said that way. She
Oh,
said never heard
now
of
that-
Bubba.
Oh,
Love Sponge. That's so
that is
good.
great.
Yeah, he's just a shock jock. He's crazy as hell. Like he is a very highly talented guy with a self-destructive streak that you've never seen before. Like it's mind blowing. Like there'll be a giant documentary on him one day. He used to work with Howard Stern and stuff. He's a mess, but I love him to death. I follow him all the time, but I always ask that question, and usually the response I get.
Once we get off, I can tell y'all what I'm going to do. Hey Siri, hey Google, I'm going to find out who Bubba the
Oh,
Love
yeah.
Sponge is.
Hey,
You won't
hang
be-
on, sit down, shut up, and hang on. That old saying, like you better watch
That's
out
right.
now. It's wild.
right.
He's full of controversy.
He is definitely. He discovered us. The reason we ask, we're just chiming along, having fun, doing our show, and then we had a podcast about podcasts. Like, what's your favorite podcast? And so we were just going over what our favorite podcasts were. Blasey tells me about Bubba the Love Sponge and starts kind of going into that. I made a little short clip out of it, thought nothing else about it. Here's a piece of content from the show. Let's moving on. Couple days later, my dad has been going through some health issues, and I was in the hospital. Blasey calls me. He's like, "You're not going to believe this. Our show is on the radio right now in Tampa." And I went, "Wait, what? Our show is on the radio? How's that possible? Like, how is that? We're here. I'm how?" And so he had found it and was reading it on the air and going over it and all of that stuff. So the next thing you know, we've have a bunch of people that have started coming over and following us and stuff.
Yeah, we ended up on the show.
We ended up on the show.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's such a great question to ask people, and eventually people are going to watch the show enough that when they come on, they know that we're going to end that. The last question's always, "What do you know about Bubba the Love Sponge?"
Hey, I love Bubba to death, and he's like, again, he's really a great guy. But he's so like. He's got so many issues, like where like I said, he's self-destructive, but he's so talented and he's such a good guy. But then he just turns around but it reminds you like how fickle and how like life is. And he is just like an example of that, like right there in front of you, and he puts it on display every day.
Right there.
But now you know what? He's ramping up right now again. I feel like he's gathered it all up and and he's bringing it back again. So anyway, she's going like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you're gonna know. You'll know within 2 hours. You're gonna know who he is.
Wow.
You're gonna be like,
next
"Oh my God."
You can ask me because I'll be prepared for that one. I will be able to give you an answer for that.
That's right. Yep. You've got my number. Shoot me a text whenever you're an email. Whenever you be like, "Oh my God, why'd y'all tell me about this guy?"
It's funny because I like to listen to podcasts sometimes throughout the day when I need that time. When I just don't want to hear music, so I'll put podcasts on in my ear and I'm gonna have to listen to y'all. I never even listened to y'all yet. Honestly,
well, that's okay.
This is the first time I see y'all, hear of y'all, and I can't wait to go follow y'all now. I mean, I follow you to watch y'all stuff and listen to it.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. It's perfect. Awesome. I wouldn't want to know either. I would come into. I'm one of those. I think I would rather not know. I know what I'm going to say and do is just going to be like what I would say and do if I was there at your house and we were chilling. Nothing would change. So yeah.
Yes, something would change. You'd be eating some good rice and gravy.
Wow, that's a fact. Yes, a lot would change.
Oh, you dang right we would. You dang right we would. That's exactly what we'd be doing. Bullhorns.
Sorry, I had to.
This is what we do. It just comes off the rails a little bit. Yeah, it's fun. What's your favorite podcasts? What are some of your favorite podcasts that you listen to?
I like a lot of motivation. And believe it or not, I like Steve Harvey.
Do you? Okay. Yes, I haven't checked that. I didn't know he had a podcast.
He gives me some motivation. I don't even listen to his. He's actually into another podcast. It's called Motivation Daily. It's something else, and he's always in there. Like, I don't know.
He has a lot of wise words, for sure.
Oh, yes.
He's awesome. I love Steve Harvey.
I like to listen to anything Louisiana and anything with motivation, basically.
Yeah. So music-wise, what all do you listen to musically?
I listen to all genres of music. I love Cajun and Zydeco, country. I absolutely love classic rock as well. I love alternative. I love it all. I mean, classic country. I'm just the person that, I even listen to Spanish music. I like it all.
I mean, I would think as a DJ, you would have to be pretty well versed in everything, so you would like everything. I'm the same way.
Depends on what mood I'm in too, because if I'm in one of those moods, or I just, if I want to be in a party mood or a good mood, listen to some Zydeco and Cajun music, and it just gets your spirits going. And
that's
if I want to be in this nonstop pushing work mode, put some classic rock and alternative on, and I even like R&B and all this other stuff, all this new stuff. So the hip hop, I like it all. So it just depends on what I'm doing.
Well, happy 311
I
day,
agree with
Hal.
you.
I don't know
Yes,
if you.
yes.
It's
Yeah.
311 day.
Yeah,
Yes.
311
It
We
is.
should have opened with this.
Yes,
It is.
I've been celebrating it all day. I've been
I
celebrating it
watched
since
that.
Saturday, actually.
I watched that YouTube video you sent, Brantley.
Yeah,
That was
311.
awesome
Have
that
you
they
ever
released
seen
today,
those
this morning.
Tiny Desk concerts on NPR, National Public Radio? It's on YouTube. Look them up. There's just about any superstar that you could think of has done one of these tiny desks. One of the most recent ones was Juvenile did a tiny desk
Now,
concert.
that's my music.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. So you got to go watch that. And then, but today,
Juvenile was style.
311 did a tiny desk, and they came in full instruments. A lot of times they'll go a little more acoustic or whatever, whenever because
Yeah.
they're literally at a tiny
They
desk.
were full hot. They were full hot.
Yeah, and they record with
came
like
in.
1 or 2 mics, and they're it's not like a full on production. But 311 came in and they brought their full gear and did it in that tiny little space. So it was awesome.
You could open
It
up
was
with some
good.
Leonard Skinner, some Juvenile, some Boosie, anything like that.
Oh.
Next time we're good to go.
Yes.
Oh,
I love that.
I love it.
I love that. Well, I think that that wraps us up with little bits of controversy. Man, Hal, I just appreciate you coming on. We could talk all night. There's no doubt, but I know you got to get to bed at some point in time because you got to get right back up and start.
She's got a dream. She's got a dream about what she's
That's
doing
right.
tomorrow. The new 4 or 5 seasonings she's going to develop the next
Yep,
few
you're right.
days. You know.
That's exactly right.
And I got to get in there and order that Cajun cleaner and that dang swamp bucket. Like those two things are just so unique.
Oh, yeah.
I got to get them. So yeah, we all got
That's
work
right.
to do,
There's
you know?
something what is that you put in a pot of gumbo that keeps it from sticking? It's something that you've dropped in there.
It's a pot minder. It's not keeping it from
Pot
sticking.
minder.
Keeping
What
it
is
from
it?
boiling over. It's really for pasta, stuff like that.
Oh,
It
okay.
gets to the bottom of the pot. And
Oh,
it
just keeping that
clatters.
foam.
Yeah, it clatters
Okay.
on the pot and it allows it to not boil over.
Not okay.
You know,
Kind of like
steak
when you
is
put a
made
wooden
of
spoon over the
wood.
top, but instead
Correct.
of having to put the wooden spoon over the top.
Was it like a rock or
It's
something?
a,
It was like a
it's
rock.
a stone.
Huh.
And it's a
Yeah,
reusable.
stone. Yeah,
you
yeah,
wash it,
okay.
you let it dry, and you reuse it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I saw that in one of your videos, and I've been
Yep.
wanting to. I saw it, and I saw it again today, and I almost forgot to ask you, where can you get that? Where can you buy
They're
one
on
of
our
those?
website. They're on our website. So
Oh,
I'll tell
okay.
you at my Hal The Cajun Lady
Shocker of the year.
Accent.com. It's on there, and it's also on GaryMottHardware.com. We have a website
Okay.
for that as well.
I'm
course
picking
it
one of
is.
those things up. That
And
would
they
come
can
in
find
very
all those
handy.
websites on my social medias.
Awesome. Awesome.
Unbelievable.
Well, Hal, I think we're going to end it here. It has been awesome. What a great visit.
We got to do this
I'm,
again.
I'm,
like,
I'm down for it,
she
and I
is
appreciate y'all having me here.
fantastic. Like,
Yes, thank you.
yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank y'all so much.